Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we're going to go over WWE's hesitancy to make Seth Rollins a top champion.
The top contenders for Money in the Bank have been revealed.
Oh, we got a major update on Pat McAfee's future.
And AEW are staying tight-lipped on today's major announcement. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news. Shout out to Matt Rains for somehow getting a photo of me getting injured at football on Monday night. All good now, though. Thanks for all the lovely messages.
Contentizing your misery. Shame on you, Matthew. Let's kick things off by talking about some hesitancy, some reported hesitancy on WWE in making Seth the Chef Rollins a top champion in the company. Yes, from Worked Wrestling, who reported yesterday that there's a bit of hesitancy to put the belt on him at the moment out of fear that he might take on a bunch of acting roles that would hinder his ability hinder his ability to appear or whatever. That's what they tweeted out. Obviously, this came on the set the same day that he was on what was the film he was on?
Captain America?
Winter Soldier. New World Order. That's it. Captain America, New World Order. With Anthony Mackie. I love that man.
Yes.
He's so charismatic.
Yeah, I love that guy.
What a great guy. Seth Rollins, good guy as well, I'm sure. Obviously, I've met Anthony Mackie and I'm very good friends with him. I can't say the same for Rollins. But yeah, that report came out yesterday. I think that there's a strong chance that Worked Wrestling source here is talking pish, personally. I
thought you were going to say AJ Styles to make sure he gets the belt.
Because on this week's episode of Raw, I know Rollins' segment one of them was pre-taped, so he could work on this movie, right? So there, it causes bits and pieces here and there, but I don't think WWE would have too much hesitancy. I don't really see them strapping AJ Styles in the year of our Fish 2023, Bobby Fish, God, obviously.
Indeed.
What do you think?
Yeah, I thought they made him feel very big time with those vignettes. So yeah, it feels weird to do all that to build up for him losing. He feels like the guy. He's been the guy, other than Cody, that you kind of had to put this World Heavyweight Championship. I think it's the right decision to put it on him.
Me too.
It gives it legitimacy straight out of the gate. I think him versus Styles, anyways, is a big time match, but maybe this is going to be used as a catalyst for a Styles heel turn or whatever. Look, just because he occasionally has to go to the movie set, he can come out and have people sing his song. He's great, and he's worked so hard because how many times have they put the world title on him and you've gone, ooh, is he kind of not big enough for the world title now? Yeah. It just hasn't quite worked. Now's the time, strap him up, don't mess about, learn from the mistake with Cody, basically.
He's absurdly over. It's great.
Speaking of Cody, though, he is one of the main contenders to win this year's Money in the Bank. Of course, it goes down in good old Blighty on the 1st of July from the O2 in London. And according to Boozer Wrestling, who've been really good recently, you were telling me.
Yeah, man, this week they put out some Raw plans, right? Before anyone. And it was there's going to be an Intercontinental title contendership battle royal, right? Here's exactly everyone who's going to be in it. Mustafa Ali's going to win it. The main event is going to be the Judgment Day versus Sami and Kevin. They got everything right, so we're aggregating them. Yeah. Shout-outs to them.
Fair play. Apparently, WWE considering these men for the men's Money in the Bank contest. Of course, no word on the women's. Damian Priest, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Matt Riddle, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Finn Balor, Chad Gable, and Edge. Paddy Power currently has LA Knight favourite 5-6 odds. So for those who don't understand this because of your weird American way of doing it, if you bet £6 there, you'd win £11 back. Montez Ford, second favourite, 4-1. Rhodes 5-1, and Lashley also 5-1. For me, it has to be Cody, but hell of a lineup, Andy.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really talented group of individuals. I mean, it always is. WWE's roster has been stickety stacked for about 20 years, but especially in the past 5 or 10 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Cody, I think. I think he's going to enter. I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to call his shot for Roman at SummerSlam.
The right way to do it.
Perhaps. I think that's how they'll do it, for sure. Yeah, but the rest of that field is really cool. I'd like to see Chad in the match for sure. If it's not going to be Cody, my other pick would be LA Knight because it'd be so much fun. But also, it's such a troll pick, but Dominic winning it would be hilarious. It would kind of if Money in the Bank still has a degree of prestige, right? It would ruin that. But it would be funny. It would be really funny watching him
Oh, it'd be so
like Rhea
nerve-wracking.
Ripley could hand him the win by beating everyone up, and then he could just climb up and get it, and then just lose the belt when he tries to
It'll
cash
even
in.
be more sneaky than Austin Theory was trying to when he kept getting chinned by everyone. Yeah, I think Dom's a funny pick. Logan Paul, I wouldn't bet against. But if I'm in charge, give it to Cody, have him call his shot for SummerSlam, and just finish the story there. You cannot drag it out to WrestleMania next year for me.
The best possible way to get the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship on Cody Rhodes right now is that way.
Exactly.
IMO. Anyway, it's my turn to speak, isn't it? What is my story? Got an update on Pat McAfee's future.
Oh,
now,
rolling in it.
There's no word on what this means for wrestling as of yet, which is why I've put this in, because it raises questions. But he's signed his ESPN deal, the one that we spoke about last week. Remember, we talked about him walking away from his deal with FanDuel, which was worth like $120 million.
Pathetic. Chump change.
The New York Post reported yesterday that his ESPN deal has been signed. He is taking his daily show over there, and he will be earning 8 figures as a result of this. Not bad at all, Patrick, good job. Good job. There's a big press release. We've got that on our website. And Pat was actually at the Disney Media Upfronts yesterday to confirm it and all that stuff. Obviously, ESPN is a Disney property. Pat had been working on ESPN with the game day college football thing since September, which is why he stepped away from SmackDown full time. But we saw him at the Rumble. We saw him wrestling at WrestleMania.
John Kettle or someone helped him, didn't he?
Stevie Peeps, I believe was the guy. Barry Punter.
Hey, it's better than night 2.
Well, it certainly
was it?
Well, night 2 was funnier.
Yeah, night 2 was more memorable.
Yeah, like Snoop Dogg, like
best elbow drop I've ever seen.
All time. So bad it's good moment.
Yeah.
The Shane McMahon kerfuffle. Obviously, I hope Shane's healing okay, even though he's an idiot. And then Snoop Dogg improvising and doing the worst. It's really great, really funny. Now, Pat McAfee, no word on his wrestling future. That's why we're talking about it today. Who knows what this will mean for him? But we'll see. Maybe WWE gets bought by Disney someday, and it's all good.
Yeah, they'll all get amalgamated. Look, I have to say, and I'm biased here, I think Wade Barrett has more than filled Pat McAfee's shoes. I think it's not Wade Barrett.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a big void. I love Pat McAfee on commentary, but I'm not there going, get this guy off, because he's no Pat McAfee for
Barrett's great.
Yeah.
Remember where he learned to commentate as well?
Indeed. You're welcome, WCPW. He's probably going to turn up to SummerSlam in a gold car or something, because he's just minted now. If he wasn't minted before by that FanDuel thing. Good for him. I think the good thing is McAfee does wrestling because he enjoys it, not because it pays well. As many people have to do in this beyond.
He's just landed an 8-figure contract,
so
he's doing okay.
I sense we'll probably see him kind of similar to how we did at this year's WrestleMania. He'll pop up on the occasional show. Maybe he'll do a spot in the Rumble or whatever. But yeah, he's a man who's being pulled in a lot of directions right now. He
certainly is.
Right, today is of course a huge day for AEW. The Warner Bros. Discovery upfronts are going to be coming out later on today. Sod's Law probably just as we clock off. But obviously there's that major announcement which we all kind of assume is going to be related to this one way or another. But AEW are remaining very tight-lipped on this. And this is coming from Dave Meltzer, who usually has the sort of inside track on these sort of things. He's not really getting anything out of them because, well, they're playing their cards incredibly close to their chests. Rumours, of course, of $1 billion TV deal, CM Punk's return, Collision, which we all have kind of assumed is coming in mid-June, but I mean, AEW technically hasn't said anything, have they?
Yeah, there's some stuff in this new report, like Tony Khan can't say stuff until after this week.
Yes, legal reasons.
Yeah, there's some legal stuff going on. I think somebody within the TV industry thinks that the TV deal is not what has been rumored, but nobody really knows anything.
No.
It's obvious. It's a major TV deal thing, whether it's $1 billion or whatever, or even if it's just the launch of a new show. It's a major thing that is going to be made apparent probably at the Warner Upfront today.
Yes.
Which is obviously like their presentation to advertisers ahead of their new year of programming. So it's something that has to be kept under lock and key. It's not like Steve at Bum Wrestling reports the LA Knight is getting a push, right? It's a completely different kettle of fish. So, yeah, we can only speculate. Punk, Collision, billions of dollars. We'll see what happens.
if you ask me, it's going to be the snowball getting pushed down the hill. I think they may well announce one, and then I think generally you can kind of assume from that. If they say we've got $1 billion TV deal, you can go, okay, so probably off the back of that, one would assume they're going to add that's going to be Collision's going to be part of that, and all that money means they can probably afford more big stars, and probably with the extra show to divvy up the roster in Collision. Therefore, CM Punk comes back, but we will have the latest as soon as we find out. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified when we tell you about this stuff.
Look at that.
It's like I felt like a proper YouTuber there.
Good stuff. We need to come up with some stuff like that, don't we? Like, wow. I don't know.
Put an effect on that.
No, don't.
Who's editing?
Phil.
God.
He'll do this for Menace. Anyway.
Please, subscribe!
You didn't even let go when I punched it.
Sorry.
I'm losing my touch. I need to work out. I need to get those guns.
It sounded pretty cool, so...
Gun Club.
Yeah.
Check out their interview with Simon Miller as well. Great stuff.
It's really funny.
It's really
they're
good.
Such dicks. Like, in the best way, characters.
It's a good interview. It's just not quite as hard-hitting and revealing as the one we had with Hook. Anyway, moving on to your Twitter
it's like
questions.
Frost Nixon, isn't it?
What culture? WWE, of course, you want to get in touch with us. Joe Raymond says, good morning, legend. Morning, Joe. This is it, right? Oh, he continues. The tag title match in Saudi is WWE's way of rewarding Sami for the past year with a pinfall victory over Roman while keeping the world title safely on the tribal chief. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Roman should take the pinfall in this match.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's the most interesting outcome because right now the whole bloodline dynamic is like you're failing me, Uso. It's like that's been the case for ages. It was like
And technically, he's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the genesis of the entire storyline, and like. For Solo to take the fall here, that would continue in the exact same way. And I'm not saying that wouldn't be good, because it probably would be, but I think Roman taking the fall is fascinating, because then Solo can be like, hold on a minute, brother. He's not his brother, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. You just lost, and you're telling me that my brothers are pieces of trash because they lost to these guys. That is a great character dynamic. I really like this, and I hope that's what happens.
And they've been doing some not so subtle stuff for a long time with the bloodline stuff of like someone walks out a shot and the other one goes, and then they don't watch the show for whatever reason and don't see this. So yeah, you could have the 1, 2, 3 Solo be a bit like, wait a second, why are we following you if you're losing?
Yeah.
And also Paul Heyman be like, that Solo looks like someone I could glom onto instead of that's the way I think it should and will go with this, so that Roman is eventually there at SummerSlam all on his own and goes, oh, I'm not quite the tribal chief, am I?
Could be the beginning of the end, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Some cracks showing if he takes a pinfall here. I think it's great.
Good booking, Joe. And
sometimes people just have to lose.
good booking, Joe, and lovely photo with Bianca Belair as well. I'm creeping on your Twitter right now. Nerdbox, they just followed us to ask us this question, Andy. Morning, legends. I was wondering what your thoughts are on if Drew McIntyre's contract expires and then we see him show up at All in London. Is that even feasible?
It's impossible. It's impossible. His contract
Good booking though, Nerdbox.
Contract doesn't expire until early 2024, so unless they release him early, which I don't think they would do
it's not happening. It's Drew.
Also, he's currently injured, so they can add more time on. So it's gonna be a while before Drew gets or before his situation is resolved. So it would be great. Like if he could debut there, we got the iconic music. Do no 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 F word.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Just the F-U-C-K ringing out across Wembley. That would be great, but it can't happen.
Yeah, maybe not this All In. Maybe the next one, because I sense there's going to be more considering how many flipping tickets they sold.
I'd love Drew to just try somewhere else.
I'd like a talent exchange, like a handshake deal. You can have Drew, we'll have, I don't know who you'd pick from that AW roster.
Luther. Perfect.
Can I fit a match with the Fiend, a tongue match?
Sure. Why not?
But yeah, good idea, but it's not going to happen this year. But it's worth an asking. Yeah, I agree. McIntyre will. I think it works best. Genuinely works best for everyone. WWE's kind of done everything they can with Drew, aside from maybe a real hard-hitting heel run at the top, challenging a world champion like Cody Rhodes, for example. And AEW could do with him. He could probably do with a bit of a
He's great.
Change of scenery.
He's so great. Like people forget how bloody awesome, Drew McIntyre.
He's got patter
is.
as well. Let him do more
Yeah.
patter stuff.
He's fun. He's like really. He's got charisma, wit. He's really good looking. He can talk. He can wrestle. He hits really hard. He's good against little guys. He's good against medium guys. He's great in hoss fights. Like there's nothing this. He's huge. There's nothing this bloke can't do. I think if he stays with WWE, he will continue to be sick. But I would really love to see him in a different environment.
Yeah.
Because his previous run out with WWE, lest we forget, was when he completely reinvented himself and became the beast he is today. I think it would be incredible if he went somewhere else. I'd love to see it.
Final question today comes from Tully Television, who writes, "Hello, legends. With the king of the mic, Adam Wilborn, pulling a Sid Justice and hurting his leg. It wasn't quite that bad. I blocked a shot of football and just sprained my ankle. It looks, you've seen it, it looks like a combination of Cody's tit at Hell in a Cell, and you know that bit in Nutty Professor when Sherman goes back to being Big Sherman? That's what my foot looks like right now. Just my foot. Horrible. I would post a picture, but it's, I mean, who wants to look at feet on the internet? Anyway, Tully asks...
Wait till we up channel memberships for that, brother.
God, I could retire off the back of my foot stuff.
They're nice feet.
Sidge could put him in beans because he got loads because he loves beans.
The healing power of beans.
What?
He bathes in them, man.
This is a bit of a weird. This is going to be a hard turn.
Snorts
Shifting
them.
gears now, Andy Murray.
All right.
What's the worst injury in a match you've witnessed in front of you?
I don't think I've ever witnessed a serious injury in front of me.
That's very lucky.
I don't think I have. What you
No.
got? Like when I've been in the building, obviously I watched the one that I think you're about to say, like on pay-per-view and stuff, and I've seen, the Ring of Honor one. Was it TK O'Ryan a few years ago where he like moonsaulted off the side of the ring and like snapped his shin off the? Like I've seen gruesome ones on TV and on pay-per-views. Obviously, Sid.
Oh God, yeah.
But I've never been there in the building.
Yeah. I mean, I got a sort of a 1-2 punch from WrestleMania weekend. I was very high up going, what's going on with Finn there? And then we realised his head was getting glued back together in that cell match with Edge. But unfortunately, I was in attendance for a fantastic match, but a horrific injury to Dante Martin in that wild tag team Reach for the Scar War match. Get well soon, Dante Martin. And just a reminder, what these guys put on the line for us every single day. So if you're thinking about being a snarky bell end on Twitter and saying, oh, you bots or whatever, maybe think about how the fact they're risking their careers and their lives every time they step between those ropes.
Yeah, it's not said enough, and we would all do well to say it more.
Indeed. Let's move on to today's and finally. I just saw this today on Squared Circle, a tweet by Bryce Donovan regarding his grandfather, Chick Donovan, who wrestled a show together. Chick Donovan wrestled a show with his grandson.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's awesome, this.
Look at Chick's hair. That is so sick.
Bryce writes, when I was a small child listening to his stories about wrestling Jerry Lawler in the AWO, he would look at me and say, I know one day you'll grow up to become Creator Pro Champion. He was right. The legend Chick Donovan. Just awesome, this.
Yeah, what a lovely story, man. Look at the hair as well. That is so crazy.
That skin, that is pure leather, that skin as well, isn't it?
I love it, man. I love it. That's a wrestler. That's what a wrestler looks like, brother. It's awesome.
So shout out to the Donovans there. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling.
Wait till you hear what their cousin Jason's been up to, baby. It's wild. What's the other one? Landon. There you go. Big family. Big family.
Yeah.
Dijak.
What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We're in the show formerly known as NXT. A little bit later on today, I'm so full to bits over here. I'm like
ankle COVID, like.
I'm like Adam Cole at Survivor Series weekend.
Whoops.
And we'll be looking ahead to the big Dynamite show tonight, of course, as well. Thoughts, Twitter questions, all that good stuff at What Culture WWE. Watch there, follow both of us, follow Andy Murray
That's Andy H. Murray. The H stands for habanero.
Ooh,
Hot pepper.
Pepper. You can follow
Pepper
me.
Pig.
Oh, I hate Pepper Pig.
To hell with Pepper Pig. She'd make delicious bacon.
Oh yeah, Team George Pig all the way.
Excellent bit of gammon.
Daddy Pig rules as well. At Adam Wilborn for me, at What Culture WWE for all of us.
Piggleton.
But for now, my thanks to Andy
4
Murray.
people will get that.
Pig in a plane. I heard you
Pig
talking
in a
about that
plane.
yesterday.
Hey, Porco Grosso.
He scored the winning goal in the semi-final against Germany in the World Cup all those years ago. Anyway.
What?
Grosso, he scored that.
Oh, okay. Fabio Grosso. Okay.
Football.
Yeah, I got lost there.
Right, bye.